Hello, hello, my beautiful soul. So, we are back at it again. And I have to say that today I realized that I love making these long form content so much more than short form content because I can sit and talk for hours and hours without having anyone interrupting me. Okay, so let's get to it. So, why do you need to know yourself at such a deep level that no one can even tell you who you are? It's because if you do not know yourself, are you going to let other people dictate who you are or how you're supposed to be acting? No one should be able to tell you what you need to be doing with your life or what kind of person you are. We are gifted with this beautiful thing known as intuition, which is there deep down below all of us. It's just that we don't know how to use it and we don't know what exactly is that we want. The thing that pisses me off the most is when someone says, they don't know what they want. How can you not know what you want? Who else is going to know what you want better than you do? Your neighbor? No, no one is supposed to know it. If you don't know yourself at such a deep level, you're always going to let people walk all over you. And the thing with intuition is, especially when people have gone through trauma in their early childhood and we are grown up in an environment where we absorb other people's perception of us, we easily get disconnected with our intuition because our intuition tells us who we are, what we are supposed to be doing, but we are so programmed in ways to believe what other people say is true that we completely forget about our own voice, that we completely forget that we have all the answers that we need within us. So the fact that you are saying, hey, I don't know what's true, I don't know what I want, just shows that how disconnected you are from yourself, from the knowing of who you are, from your own heart. And it's not that ever since I was a child, I knew how to tap into my intuition or I definitely knew what I wanted. Of course, there were mistakes even I made along the way. But somewhere or the other, you have to decide that, hey, enough is enough. I am going to decide what I want in my life and I'm going to do it my way. There's this beautiful quote by Alex Hormozy where he says, stop listening to people who do not have what you want to have. So even if you want something or even if you don't want something, stop asking other people for advice where they don't have their own shit figured out. And how do you get to this place where you know what your intuition is saying or you know yourself at a deep level? First is, of course, healing, working through your traumas. This is something I'll stand by always. Changing your thought patterns, changing all that conditioning that you have been going throughout your life, calming down your anxiety, all the voice in your analytical and logical brain which goes on blabbering all the time. Of course, I'm not saying that, your logical brain is useless. You need your logical brain to live. We are given our logical brain for a reason. But you cannot always live your whole life with logic. Sometimes you need to connect into your heart and understand what you truly want. Another thing I will always stand by is self-concept work. You need to start defeating all those negative stories in your head that's going on about you, which are like, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, which are also at a very unconscious level. And you need to start writing a new story for yourself. You need to believe the opposite of what is it that you've been conditioning your brain all this while. No one can tell you you are a shy girl. You can literally break that thought by just telling yourself, I'm not a shy girl. I am a confident woman. Even if you just keep telling yourself, I know what is it I want for like 3 days straight, it's gonna go inside your subconscious mind. Stand in front of the mirror, repeat it to yourself, or take out a journal, do some journaling, sit and meditate, do whatever, whichever way works for you. And tell yourself the stories that you want to be believing. Whatever thoughts you have about yourself, these are probably not even true. These are all those childhood programs that you have in your brain which has been there. One of the biggest lie that I used to believe is I am a very masculine person. And that's not true. I have always been a feminine person. It's just that I used to believe that I am very masculine because I used to like work. I just had to learn how do I tap into my femininity and my intuition to bring that side of me outside as well. So now I can balance the two whenever I need it. Your subconscious mind is such a powerful tool. You just need to tell it what you want and your subconscious mind will work in ways to give you whatever is it that you desire. In the last episode, I told a technique about how I stood in front of the mirror for hours and told myself, I am lovable. I love myself. What was I doing when I was doing that? I was changing my subconscious thought patterns. You have to saturate your conscious mind so much with the new thoughts that you want to have that it will automatically go inside your subconscious mind. And repetition dissolves disbelief. So sit and decide, who do you want to be? What do you want in life? And keep telling yourself the story that you already have it. And your subconscious mind will have no other way but to bring it in front of you. There's another story where I had this rash on my right hand. It was like an eczema rash, basically, and I've had it for like 3 years of my life. And it used to irritate me. The rash used to irritate me. But what was I doing in that moment? Every time I kept looking at that rash and kept getting irritated, I was affirming to myself that rash is still there in my hand. And one day I decided, okay, enough is enough. I have to change this. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to delude myself in such a way that I am going to believe from every cell of my body that the rash is gone. 4 months in, guess who never got the rash again? Your body can create a disease, a thought. Your body also knows how to uncreate that thought. And when you have such a powerful tool as your subconscious mind with you, why do you want to let other people dictate who you are or what you're supposed to be doing? You can decide who you are, what you want, and know yourself at such a deep level. Also, what people think of you is none of your business. This is beautiful quote which I live by in my life, which says, your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. So let's say someone randomly comes in front of me and says, hey, I love your blue hair. I'm not going to accept it because I have black hair. What that person says to me is not even going to go past my conscious mind into my subconscious mind because I know what my truth is. I know that I have black hair. It's the same thing. If someone comes in front of you and says, hey, maybe you cannot achieve something in your life. Who said that? Why do you have to accept it? It's just that you've been conditioned to accept all these things that's been said to you. And if you know every single thing about yourself, every thought patterns that you have, do you feel that anyone can actually come and tell you who you are as a person? Also, in order for you to break those negative thought patterns, one thing I will tell you is understand your triggers. Your triggers are the most powerful things you can use to heal yourself. You don't have to hate the person in front of you who is triggering you, but instead, if you can just go within and understand what was it about this situation that triggered me. Is this coming from the present moment or is it actually coming from the past? This is how you catch yourself in the moment and you understand where does these behaviors originate from so that you have that awareness to work on it. Once you identify the trigger, you know what is the underlying belief behind that. And just in the same way, take that belief and write the opposite of that belief and keep repeating that new story in your head days after days until it becomes an assumption and until it becomes a permanent belief. This is how you start wiring new neural pathways even in your brain. Let's say you have 100 triggers within you. Once the triggers start coming out and you work through each and every one of them, after a point you are not going to even have triggers left in you. So you know the work you have done and nobody can tell you who you are, and that's how you develop the kind of confidence who you are as a person. Once you identify the triggers as well, you can understand where are you going wrong again and again. Let's say in your dating life you have a habit of you ending up with people who treat you like shit. For example, once you get out of, let's say, a shitty situation, sit and reflect on it. What made me stay in that shitty situation? Why did I even get attracted to this person in the first place? What story am I telling myself that I deserve this kind of a shitty treatment? When you have awareness, that is the first step for you to start rewriting your stories. And let's say in this particular situation, one of your core lying belief would be, I don't deserve good treatment, or I have to work hard to earn love. How you write the opposite story is you keep telling yourself, love comes to me easily. I am easily lovable. It's safe for me to be loved. And when you saturate your conscious mind enough times by repeating these words or by repeating these thoughts, guess what? It's gonna change you at a subconscious level. It also makes you understand that you are not a bad or a crazy person. These are all the beliefs that has originated from your childhood, and you have the power within you to actually destroy these thoughts once and for all. After you have done so much self-concept work, you know what you are willing to tolerate and you know what you're not willing to tolerate. And from this originates your boundaries. What are the boundaries which you are not willing to break at all? What are your negotiables? What are your non-negotiables when you are dealing with people in relationship, when you're dealing with career, when you're dealing with your friends as well? And stand firm on these boundaries. If anyone breaks that boundary, you are going to leave. And the only way you can stand firm on these boundaries is, of course, when you love yourself enough to understand that you deserve better treatment and your mental health and your mental peace is much greater than anyone out there. For example, if I am in a relationship and someone cheats on me, and just to say, I'm not even a person anymore that would even attract anyone in that level because I've done so much work on myself. But let's say, for example, if there's a man who cheats on me and that's a big boundary for me being crossed, there is no way after that boundary is crossed I'm ever gonna give that man a second chance. Impossible. He can go take a hike, but once I make up my mind, I am not gonna budge on it. And that is how you stand firm by your boundary. That's because you respect yourself enough and you understand and you identify that you deserve amazing best treatment for yourself. And the last thing I have to say is believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is the highest way to connect with yourself. Once you have that belief, I'm gonna come out on the top no matter what, there is no single person in the planet who can prove it otherwise to you or who can even tell otherwise to you. And in this process of doing all the self-concept work, you end up in a headspace where you do believe in yourself. You believe what you deserve, you believe what you don't deserve, you believe what you can do, what you cannot do. You form such a deep connection with yourself that you lose all kind of self-doubt that you have and you only have nothing but confidence in who you are. And once you start standing by these boundaries, these non-negotiables, the new beliefs and stories that you keep telling yourself, over time what happens is you keep giving your brain evidences to support these new beliefs. Have dreams for yourself, have aspirations for yourself, live by them, wake up and think of everything that you want to achieve in your life. Also start practicing gratitude for the future things that are going to unfold in your life. Every morning I wake up and I know what my goals are, I know where I want to reach, and I know I have that vision that no matter what happens, I'm going to reach there. And I believe in myself. I know that whatever I set my mind to, I am going to get there. And no bloody person can tell me I cannot do it because I have that much faith in myself. Be a mountain that cannot be moved because you deserve everything beautiful out there.